Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, October 7th. Remember last week I told you that I was either going to be really sad or really happy the next coming weeks because of, the baseball postseason happening? Well, today's a happy day, people. Today's a happy day. Yes, the Dodgers had to face the pesky St. Louis Cardinals for the wild card spot to go on to play the San Francisco Giants. And let's just start there. I'll get this out of the way while it's fresh in the mind. This game wasn't pretty. This game wasn't going well. All right, we didn't go to extras. We went to the bottom of the ninth, which is the classic way to do it. The cliche, the dramatics were high. We weren't hitting very well, if anything. They scored on a wild pitch. That was their only run scored, was a wild pitch. I was furious the entire game. I was mad. Justin Turner hit a home run to tie it at 1-1. They scored, by the way, they scored in the first inning off of that wild pitch. I mean, you could imagine me just absolutely furious at that. And then, just not scoring. We get a tie the game with a home run in the fourth by Justin Turner. And then bottom of the ninth, right? They got their closer on, Alex Reyes. They're feeling good. I think that if we didn't hit this home run by Chris Taylor in the bottom of the ninth, scoring Bellinger, and it ended up being 3-1 Dodgers, I don't know if we would have won in extra innings, man. I just don't know. With the bullpen, with the other people that we have, like to substitute with pinch hitters and all that, I wasn't sure. I was getting really down. I was like, oh no, this is not going to end well. Like, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be miserable. And then just when you thought it could have ended, poorly, Cody Bellinger gets a walk. Chris Taylor smacks a 2-run bomb to left field, and then we end up winning the game. The absolute relief on me and just my soul had to been relieved with one swing of the bat. Because if you don't know, if you are a Dodgers fan and you've been watching them for like at least 10 years, at least a decade, like I have, the St. Louis Cardinals are kind of for me in the same realm as the Giants, as I just don't like them. They've beaten us so many times in the playoffs. 2013 NLCS, 6 games. I think they beat us in 6 games, and just like they went on to, I believe, lose to Boston in that year in the World Series, and just the years before losing at home, they've had our number for like the most recent postseason. Not like super recent, but like 2014, 13, I think 15. I could be wrong, but like pretty recently they've been owning us. And then it was they had like the on field dramatics about like, oh well, Max Scherzer grew up being a Cardinals fan back when he was a kid. And I'm like, okay, automatically when they started doing that, I knew that Scherzer was gonna have a bad game. I knew it, because whenever they do that, whenever they say like, oh, he's pitching against his hometown team or his childhood team or whatever, it never goes well for that person on the other team. It never does. And I was just thinking like, God, I knew it was going to. And immediately, Scherzer is shooken up. He's throwing wild pitches. He's not being himself. He can't command the ball, really. He's getting people on base, and then we were just like, I'm like, oh, God, you got to be kidding me. This can't be happening again. Now with the team that we have today, now with our squad, with our bullpen, with everybody that we have, we can't let this happen. And they have nobody. They have like Arenado and Wainwright, and like, who are these other guys? I have no idea who these guys are. So I'm like, okay, we can't lose. I know I'm sounding a bit kind of fanboying over the Dodgers, but yeah, it's my team. I'm gonna be this way because we won, and it feels good. But if this has anything to if this carries over to when we play, if we go from the Cardinals, who won 90 games, all right, they're not terrible, but they're not like us. If we go from that, playing the Cardinals to playing the Giants that way, I mean, we might just get swept. I mean, I'm nervous. I'm happy for them, but I'm also like, now I'm gonna be in the most stressful, anxious phase of my sporting life. I think this is gonna be worse than the Cardinals and the NLDS, NLCS in the past. This NLDS against the Giants might kill me. Now, I mean, I hope we win. I hope we can, move on to the NLCS, because if we beat the Giants, we should be going to the World Series, and we should be winning them, beating anybody in the World Series, because the Giants are the best team in baseball. And I just want to say, I want to tip my hat. I'm not tip my hat, but say you're welcome, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball. You're welcome. We gave you the series that you wanted. I know that nobody would have watched Cardinals and Giants. I mean, I would not. So I know I'm being a little biased, but you're welcome, Rob Manfred. You got your series. You got your dream NLDS of the decades, of the century, maybe. You're gonna get Dodgers and the Giants for their NLDS. You're welcome. And to all the haters, the Dodger haters that hate my team, despise our team, hate that we beat the Cardinals. What's there to hate? You can't hate. If you're a baseball fan, you shouldn't be hating this. This is great for baseball. This is fantastic for baseball. I'm going to be one of the first people to say it. This is going to be great for baseball. You can be a Cardinals fan, a Yankees fan, a Red Sox fan, an Astros fan, any other fan. You cannot deny that this is great for baseball. It's fantastic. If you hate this and you're mad about it and you're pouty, unless you're a Cardinals fan, I mean, then you must hate baseball. You must not want your sport to do well. You must not want people to watch your sport, because this series has potentially going to be better, the best series that we've had in decades, I think. The best, absolute best. Forget any of the Yankees, Red Sox. No, this is going to be the one. This is it. The 2021 NLDS between the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers is going to be better than any of those previous series. I guarantee you, because they are without a doubt the best two teams in baseball. So I don't want to hear any of this hate on my team. All this. Oh, we hate the Dodgers. Why'd it have to be the Dodgers? Shut up. Rob Manfred, you're welcome. Thank me later. Thank the team later. Thank Chris Taylor later. I was getting, again, like I said, I was getting nervous. I was like, come on, Rob Manfred. You know what you want. You don't want the Cardinals to play the Giants. Get the fuck, rig this game. I'm just kidding. Don't rig it. Please don't rig it. But, you're welcome. Feeling good, though. Feeling good. I had not been that stressed out in like over a year. Around the same time when we were sweeping, just pummeling through the last playoff season, which, I mean, you could call I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want it to be in the ethos of what is happening, because it's when people say what they say about last year's sporting World Series or finals or even Super Bowl. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm not even gonna react to that or give any sound bites, because that's just petty on me, and it's stupid. It is silly, but good game from the boys. They did enough. I would want to be Scherzer to be better for the next series. Hopefully, bats need to wake up. Everybody needs to start to hit the ball and not go for the home run anymore, because you could tell in that game they were just going for the home run, just trying to hit that home run. And it's like, easy, boys, easy. Let's just get on base, please. Like, you're not even getting on base. We left the bases loaded in like the third, I think, third inning, I think, maybe the second. And it was such bad fashion. We had other people in scoring position, and A.J. Pollock hit like a clear ball that would have been called a ball. He whacks at that, and it goes nowhere. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're better than that. I don't want to see you. And then he charged for the bag. And he never came back to the game because he did have a hamstring issue before that. So I wonder if he aggravated that or made it worse. I'm not sure, but good outing for the boys. Thank God. And we'll see. I mean, I believe the NLCS begins for us, I believe Friday. So tomorrow. So I believe this is going to be, like I said, it's going to be this is the time. If you enjoy my pain or you enjoy my happiness, you're going to like both. I'm just saying, like, you're going to be here for the ride, and it's going to be either a good ride or a bad ride. For me, it might be great for you. I don't know. We'll see. But let's move on. This weekend I saw, not even the weekend, I went to a movie premiere last week. I went to go see Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, I didn't like the first Venom movie at all. I thought it was very, I thought it was weird. It was a weird take because we know that Venom in the Spider-Man and the Marvel comic universe is a bad guy. That's all I've known of Venom, and like just him being a bad guy, like a symbiotic looking Spider-Man. I mean, like, did he really have to look like that, like an actual like black suited Spider-Man? Like, they just do that because like they wanted him to make like the anti-looking Spider-Man, like a black gooey symbiotic alien creature, like very like who can get so big and like his tentacles or whatever. I don't know, the symbiote shit can like spread and take over your body and like make you evil and shit like that. I don't even know, like, but like when I saw that was going to be made into a movie, I was like, okay, well, this could be cool, I guess. I mean, what are there's no like, I mean, is he a bad guy? Because all I know is him of him is being a bad guy to Spider-Man. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out, and I ended up getting sick from it. Like, I just didn't like the movie. I thought it was kind of like a romantic comedy. Like, there's a lot of scenes in it and characters that like lend themselves to a romantic comedy type movie. And I'm just like, this is also supposed to be like, we're supposed to be seeing Venom like cut people in half and eat people and be gruesome and violent and gory and like and cause havoc and wreak havoc and kill people, at first. And I think that is in the movie, but it can't escape really the romantic comedy. And I'll emphasize on the comedy, at least the first one. The comedy in that first one is really bad. Tom Hardy does a good job playing Eddie Brock. He's like probably, I would say, the coolest journalist I've ever seen in my life. He's got a motorcycle, he's got cool hair, he dresses cool, he talks cool, he walks cool. He's a really cool guy, but he's just like, he's a journalist, so it's like, this is bullshit. I can't buy him being this journalist who's like so cool and just walks with like all this swagger and shit. I'm like, I don't buy this at all. But it's cool because it's all right. I mean, like, if you remember, if you're a kid back in the day and you saw Spider-Man 3 with Topher Grace's Venom and Eddie Brock, you're going to be like, who the fuck is this? Like, what is this shit? Tom Hardy as fucking, as Eddie Brock and as fucking Venom? Okay, whatever. And, okay, I mean, it's all right. I mean, they bought into it. I saw it. I hated it, but a lot of people liked it back in the day. I believe it came out in 2018. It made a ton of money, overperformed. People saw it and they liked it. And now they made a second one. And they tease at the end of the second one that if you haven't seen the first one, I'm sorry, but here's a spoiler. The first movie ends with a cutscene, not a cutscene, but a after credit scene with a Woody Harrelson in the role of Cletus Cassidy, and he's the guy who is Carnage, or is Carnage's host, or whatever, however the symbiote works. But he's teased to be the villain of the next movie, and then now we get to Venom 2, or Venom Let There Be Carnage, and this review. This is going to be a non-spoiler review at the first half, but I'm sorry, I need to warn you now, or I'll warn you when there will be spoilers, because I will be talking about some spoilers, because it's huge, it's big. So let's just start off with the Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage review, non-spoiler right now. It's not a romantic comedy anymore. They kind of broken out of that, which I was cool with. I mean, not to say that it couldn't be another romantic comedy, but it just, the first one was done very poorly, and in some scenes very awkward, And a lot of times the comedy was just bad in the first one. This movie, however, the comedy was actually better. I actually enjoyed it way more than the first one. Venom is also funny. He's got some like funny one-liners. He makes fun of Eddie Brock. He jokes about wanting to eat brains and all that, but obviously he can't because Eddie's like, well, now you got to live with me and I got to live with you, so we got to have boundaries, we got to have rules, and we can't do all this shit anymore because you're a part of me now, and we're a match, and that's how we work because we match up, and that's how. If we don't match, then it's not going to work, or something like that. I can't remember, but the exact thing. But that's basically what's like the key to Eddie Brock and Venom staying together is that they're a perfect match for one another. So they're buddies and they're friends, and Venom makes him breakfast a couple times. You see that in the trailer. They go on he's still a journalist, so he's got to go and get some stories, and one of the stories is about Cletus Cassidy and like his past and all that. And I actually think that this is one of the stronger points of this movie is that Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, is actually a really good antagonist, villain, whatever you want to call him. He's very good in this role. He's great. It's like he really was like having fun with it, and I don't really see Woody Harrelson as the bad guy or like the big bad a lot in some movies, and in this one he was very good. You could tell that he had a lot of fun with the role. He was able to extend his, really dive into being a crazy bad guy with a purpose, and like the past that he has in the movie. I'm not going to spoil that, but the past that he has and why he is what he is really interesting. It's not like half-assed or half cooked or half-baked or whatever. It's actually, you can tell that the writers put in thought how to make Woody Harrelson's Cletus Cassidy, a villain with a motive and a motivation, and it surprised me. It really did, because I wasn't expecting it, because like the villain in the first one, played by Riz Ahmed, who I like, it seems like it's just like this is the first one. The first Venom is like he's just like a rich bad guy, like a billionaire bad guy with wanting to do gain money and power and all that. It's just like, okay, whatever, it's fine. But this one was way better. I like the story a lot more. The comedy, like I said, is way better. It just flows better. It's not as cheesy. The jokes they just land better. And this movie also allowed you to see the comedic presence of Venom, just talking to Eddie Brock, saying like, what are we doing here? You got to be doing this, not that, and all that. It really feels like a silly buddy movie. Like if the first one was a romantic comedy, then this one's just like a buddy movie. And you really got a lot of that with this movie, which is kind of like what I'm scared about if you're like an actual Venom fan, without spoiling any, plot points of the movie. This might not be the Venom movie that you're looking for. This, again, like I said, and if you've seen the trailers or seen any reviews or even like a TV spot on TV, this does kind of lean more into the comedy role or lane, and maybe not as much Venom as you would like, and doing Venom things. So just maybe to lower the expectations a bit if you haven't seen it yet. It's still a really funny movie. Like it's silly, it's good. The characters are still really good, and Cletus Cassidy is really good too. Eddie Brock is good, but just to temper a little bit of what you might be expecting on the overall tone of the movie, maybe don't go in with that. Maybe don't go in with thinking that Venom is going to be doing Venom things like he did in the first one, when he was like he didn't know where he was, and he was just like eating people, and hurting everybody. So maybe don't go in like that. Maybe try to tempt your expectations and let it surprise you, because it does kind of take some routes that you might not have expected. But just go for the ride. Let's see what else. Okay, yeah. Again, like I said, this is gonna be half spoiler or half non-spoiler and half spoiler. But I guess before I get there, overall the movie's decent. It's okay. One things that I think that was a shock to me at first when I first heard about it was like it wasn't gonna be rated R, because I thought that I saw that Somebody said that it was going to be rated R, and then they switched it to PG-13. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. But you can tell, like, it would have been so much more better, I think, if it was rated R, because Venom is just like that bad guy that could rip a person in half, and like it'd be so weird and it'd just be awkward if it just cut away to you not seeing the guy get ripped up by Venom. It just seems weird. It doesn't really fit. It makes it look like they're trying to cover it up, and it's just like, I don't know. For me, it just wasn't. It would have been better if it was rated R. And I know that people get scared, or studios are like, well, we can't make it rated R because not many people are going to be able to see it. Well, like, I don't know, man. I mean, like, people saw Deadpool, they saw Logan when it came out, and those were both rated R. So like, you can do that easily and just make it. If you make a good movie and it be rated R, people will see it. It doesn't matter what the rating is. It's just, you just got to have confidence in your movie, and I think that people will see it, because people ate up the first one. They saw that shit. And it made so much money. Like, if you made this one even like rated R, with Venom and Carnage, it's a knockout of the park. Come on. Might even have to deal with the pandemic and not having as many people in the theaters, but I'm not sure. That could be a factor. But we'll see. It doesn't seem like it would have been. The movie would have benefited if it was rated R, for sure. I think it would have, for sure, absolutely. That being said, the movie is very short. It is a flat 90 minutes, and that's it. So, expect it to be pretty brisk and just kind of breeze past you, because it does. But that's not to say that it ruins it. No, it doesn't ruin it, but it could have been a little bit longer, because at some points it does feel a bit rushed. It feels a bit choppy. There's a couple plot points that are kind of left open, and then it's like, okay, they're just never going to go back to that. And it does feel a bit choppy at times, but I think overall people will enjoy it, because the action in it is very good, so you don't really need to pay a whole lot of attention to what you're missing, because the action is like really what it's all about. It's a big action comedy movie that I think that a lot of people will enjoy. But just be expected it to be not like the first Venom in the terms of what Venom does, because like I said, I think you can kind of grasp it from the trailers. Feels like a buddy movie, and it plays like one, feels like one. The characters are very similar, and yeah, good movie overall. I gave this movie a 6.8 out of 10 when I tweeted about it, and I think that it belongs there. It's an okay movie. Like, it's enjoyable. It's not unwatchable. I certainly thought it was better than the first one, because I just thought the first one was just all over the place and I didn't really like it. This one knows what it is. It doesn't do anything that it's not comfortable with, and it serves a purpose. And the villain's great. Again, Woody Harrelson's very good as Carnage, and Cletus Cassidy. And I think you should check it out. Now, that was the non-spoiler part. From now on, I will be talking about spoilers. So if you're not gonna want to listen, I'll put a timestamp here where it ends, where it begins, and where the spoilers begin and where they end. So you will not be spoiled. If you don't want to know what happens, skip to the time. But right now we're going to be talking about spoilers. So here it is. Venom is now in the MCU. Venom and Eddie Brock are in the MCU. I believe that's how it is. The scene happens in the mid-credits. Venom and Eddie Brock go on a vacation to some island, and they're staying at like a bungalow or a hut or whatever. Like, they're just sitting there. They don't know what they want to do. They're just going to lay low. And all of a sudden, you see like a flash of light from outside their window. And then like the bedrooms change within that flash. Like, a shake happens. It's like an earthquake, and then there's a flash of light, and you notice that their beds the rooms are different. Like, what the hell's happening here? And then immediately when something strange happened, right? Like the light just flashed, and then the earthquake happened. Right when the light flashed, everybody in the theater was like, "What? Oh no, it's happening!" They knew it was bound to happen. Like, they knew it was going to happen. And I was just like, I was sitting there like, oh, are they really going to do it like this? Okay. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not like, I don't want this. Like, no, I'm not like, okay, whatever, get the fuck out of here. But I was like, okay, I was just like, oh, that's how they're gonna do it. I mean, it seems a bit lazy, but it's like, okay, I mean, I guess this is how it's happening. So all of a sudden, they're watching the TV before this all happens, and then when after it all happens, the lights flashing and the earthquake happens, it pops up the report of J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons, in his Spider-Man Far From Home getup, reporting on the news about Spider-Man, and then boom, Tom Holland's Spider-Man's mug flashes on the screen. And then Venom's like, we gotta stop this guy because he's a bad guy. Or something like that. He mumbles like some words, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying. But he mumbles something, is like, we're gonna go get him or something like that. But I was like, oh, so that's how he doesn't like Spider-Man. So, there we have it. Tom Holland is either in, or Venom is either in the MCU, or Spider-Man, Tom Holland, went to the Venomverse. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I have no idea. And then it cuts to black, and then that was it. They literally cut to black on pretty much Tom Holland's face, I believe. I mean, saw it when it came out, and I didn't look it up or anything like that. But yep, that's what happened. He's going to be in the MCU. Now I'm curious, how long do they wait before they put him in a movie or something like that? Or how long do they wait before they decide to put the Tom Holland Spider-Man in a Venom movie? Like, how's it going to work? How's it going to happen? When will this happen? I know that a lot of people who are fans of the MCU are like, oh, it's about fucking time. Now he's got to fight Spider-Man. But it's like, how is this going to happen? What about the Avengers? What about everybody else? How's this going to work? I have no idea. I was really, really, really surprised that happened. But it's also like a thing that, I mean, like now, if he's part of the MCU now, and like that, like, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm sure Kevin Feige knows what's going to happen. But I got to be honest, man. I was quite taken by surprise on that. Did not expect that. Thought it would just be over. Thought that Venom was going to be its own thing for a while. But at the end of the day, I was surprised that they made a second Venom. And, you can only go so far having Venom in Venom movies and not fight Spider-Man. I mean, you can only go so far. You got to get them in there at least once, on the big screen. And I'm not talking about, like, Topher Grace's Venom. Although, would it be cool? I mean, if we are going to be getting Alfred Molina's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, what's to say that we cannot get, Tom Hardy's Venom and then Topher Grace's Venom in the same fucking movie? I mean, I think that everybody would be like, oh my god, that would be sick. Or imagine this. What if in that TV screen, it was a flash of the report from Spider-Man 3 where they see Venom for the first time, killing those cops and the firefighters around that building where Sandman is, and him actually seeing another Venom. I mean, I think that would be a lot cooler. I mean, it would also confirm the multiverse, but in a different way. Not as like not as like here it is. Here's Tom Holland, MCU. Boom, there it is. It would have been a little bit more not direct, but you could kind of piece together like, well, why would they even have that? Why would that even be a thing? Well, because of whatever happened in the MCU is now affecting every other fucking Marvel universe that's ever existed, I think. So, I don't know. I have no idea. I do want to see what they do with it. I can't lie. I know that I've been kind of hating on Marvel for the past couple weeks. But you have my intrigue. I am intrigued. You have my interest. You've caught it. You've grasped it, and you got me. I just want to see what you do. Because there's potential. There really is potential. I mean, at some parts, Venom did feel like an MCU movie with their comedy. It felt better because their comedy was better. Now, now that they put him in the MCU, are they going to ruin it? Is it going to be different? How's that going to work? I don't know. I hope it's not too marvelly. I think that they really need to, hold back on their brand of movie, their formula for a movie. It's just, I don't know. I don't mean this to be negative or anything like that, but it's just like, now I'm confused because I don't know what's going to happen with Venom and Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. I don't know. But we'll see. It's got to be coming out soon. I mean, there's no way that they're going to wait on this. And that's it. That's the spoiler talk. That's over. I appreciate it if you stuck around, if you were courageous enough to stick around. But if you did, I hope you enjoyed that. But if you didn't, and if you did, we're moving on to other forms of entertainment, and these are video games. Yes. This past week I got the privilege to play the Halo Infinite beta, or what they call flight, or technical preview flight, or whatever it's called. You get to play the multiplayer for Halo Infinite, essentially, or a build of it, not necessarily the actual build of what it's going to be like when it launches, but it should be similar in a way that like you could be familiar with it and have expectations and know what it's going to be like, how it's going to play, and all that. And listen, I gotta say, the Halo Infinite beta, I'll just call it that for to be shorter. I really enjoyed it. I really did. It feels like a really good blend of all the Halo's gameplay in one. Like I get a good feel. I got a good Halo 3 feel with the movement, and sort of like, and a little bit of Halo 5 with the sprinting. And I get a little bit of Halo 3 with the equipment that you can use, whether it be the shield, the grappling hook, the repulsor, and I get a lot of it with I get a lot of joy with the gameplay and the gunplay in it. It feels really good. It also was very, very polished. There's going to be another one soon in a couple weeks, I think, that you can play if you apply, or not apply, I guess, just sign up to be an insider for Halo. But it's really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was really fun, and you can play with like all your friends, with Slayer, 4v4 Slayer, big team battle, capture the flag, all those modes that are on maybe 4 or 5 maps. The maps were also very, very good. I didn't play the first flight or the first beta, and I got to play this one. I was just like, hell yeah, this one's sick. This game is, Halo Infinite, the multiplayer release is legit. It's really, really fun. And also, I want to give a shout out to the whoever made it so you're no longer red or blue team. Like, that's amazing. Like, you are, but your Spartan is not red or blue. The outline of him is red or blue, but the Spartan is not. So you don't have to worry about, customizing your Spartan and then him being either red or blue or on the team-based games anymore. And that's like one of my big things is like, I enjoy customizing the Spartan, but it's like in the game when you play with team games, which is the majority of the games that people play with Halo, you can't see your damn armor customization really, because you all look the same with the red and blue armor. And now that that's gone, it's like, oh my god, now it's just so much more refreshing, and I enjoy looking at the customizing my colors, the armor, the battle pass thing that they have there. You can even customize your guns, your vehicles. I was like, damn, this is really good. I really like it. I was surprised with how polished that the game was. It looked good. It felt good. It wasn't too laggy. It crashed a couple times, but that wasn't, that was supposed to be expected. I would have believed so with the developers being like, it's going to crash a couple times because it is like a flight or a beta or whatever. But it felt really good. I was very surprised. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm like, this is where Halo needs to be. This is really, really good. Yeah, there's sprinting. There's a couple things that are kind of, I think, that need to be improved on. Like, I think that some of the maps at first, when I first started to play, they felt kind of big. They actually, with the 4v4, like Slayer or Capture the Flag, some of them felt kind of big, and I was just like, oh shoot, this might be a problem because it just felt too big. And let's see what else was there. I enjoy the new game mode. I think it's called Total Control. Is like you have to control all the points, and once you get all the points controlled, you gain a point. And the first person to get score 3 points by controlling all 3 points wins the game. I like that mode a lot. That's a really, really good mode. We were able to play with I believe 10 people, 9 or 10 people in our team, in our party, and it was just so much fun. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a limit when it actually ships out, when the game actually comes out, but as far as it feels now, it feels really good. I'm excited. I think that's going to be a good game, and it might be the best beta that I've played so far, because a couple days ago, if you had EA Access, if you were able to get or had Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you were able to play, and I think EA Access in general, I think you were able to play the Battlefield 2042 beta a couple days earlier. I think it started on the 6th, October 6th, at midnight. I think at midnight, yeah. And that is also a very fun game, very good game, because the news that it got delayed last month is going to be pushed from October to November. It's they didn't really say why it was going to get pushed back, but they needed time to get work on it because of the obviously the pandemic and all that, whatever. And so now we got our first on hands play of that game now, and that game is also very fun. Feels good in the hand. There's only one map available right now, and only Conquest, so it's not like Halo where you got 4v4, then big team battle, and then with Capture the Flag and Slayer and all that. It's just Conquest on one map. But the best part about that has got to be the gunplay. I mean, that gunplay in Battlefield 2042 is really good. It feels good. It feels updated from it feels like a Battlefield 4, but updated. And that's a good thing, because that also had very good gunplay. And it just feels crisp. It feels sleek. It feels new. The sounds are really good. It is a beta, though. So my game, for me, the map would flicker a lot. And that means shadows would kind of flicker in. It'd get darker. It'd get lighter. Some things wouldn't be there, then they would be there. Which isn't, terrible for a beta, but you can tell that it does need some work still. That there's still work that needs to be done, and I'm not sure if just one extra month is going to be enough to do it. The vehicles are good. The map that they have for it is enormous, and it's really big. And I feel like that sometimes it just feels like there's a lot of dead spots in the map right now. Now that just might be because I barely played it. I played it for a couple hours. Maybe if I explore it more and play more, then I'll be able to see where the choke points are, where the hot spots are, where do people play more. Maybe, but it's just there's a lot of spots that you kind of just forget about, which I think will get less and less over time. But it's still really fun. It's still a lot of fun. I haven't played it with any of my friends yet, but it's going to be there for the weekend. I'll play it there with them, and we'll see how it goes, because it still doesn't seem to be completely or even close to be ready for me, because again, the flickering is a problem. The sound is kind of a problem. You'll be shooting a assault rifle, an automatic assault rifle, and there'll be spurts of it, just not you don't hear any bullets fly or any bullets shoot. Sometimes if you crash a vehicle, it'll just kind of stutter away and just kind of stutter back down. But I think that the gunplay is very sleek. It's the best feature that works in the beta by far. And also what works very well, or pretty much all the way well, is the quick attachment selection, which is, if you didn't know, that there was an ability to change attachments on the fly as you're playing, basically, and they just switch on, they come on. That works pretty well, and I gotta say that's really, really cool, because you can make your gun for pretty much any situation on the fly in the battlefield, and it's really good, and it's really convenient. And I think that it's going to be, out of all the betas that I've played, right, Halo Infinite is the best, and then I got to go Battlefield and then Vanguard. And after playing Battlefield and Halo, both have very, very, very fun multiplayer, very addictive, and very just, you want to keep playing. I gotta say, I think Vanguard might be the lowest played at multiplayer this year, this holiday season, and even this year and the next year. I just feel like it doesn't have what these other games have, and the snappy gunplay, the really feeling good gunplay, the fun maps. I mean, Halo's got some great maps coming out. They've got even more, like, really good maps in that beta. They got a lot of good maps coming out, and even the Battlefield map. And I've said that some parts are like too big, or there's just a lot of open spaces. I mean, the map still looks really, really good. Like, it still looks great. The rocket that launches in the map, it doesn't break the game. It actually flows pretty well, even for a beta. And I was surprised, because I was like, okay, this rocket feature in the game, I feel like, just because of, past experiences with games like this might destroy the game. Like, it might cause it to crash or whatever, but it didn't. And it works well. It sounds good. I thought that for a second that the audio was going to be bad again, but it was just my damn headset that I had so low, and it was just like, oh, and I turned it up, and I'm like, oh, whoa, there it is. There's the audio. Now it sounds really good. And I guess, like, one of my main gripes, and this is with, like, every Battlefield game ever, pretty much, the person that you pick, right? Your operator, whatever, and you play as them. They all have their like specialties, their special gadgets, special abilities, whatever. That's all cool and fine. I pretty much hate all of their voices and their recordings of dialogue in the game. They're all so cringy. Like, they're really, really bad. This just might be me. It might be, my style. Maybe I never really liked them in the first place, but in Battlefield. But it's just, they've always been very, very cheesy and annoying. Their dialogue, their in-game dialogue. They'll be like getting shot at, like, I'm getting shot here, or I'm like, I need support, or I need help. They've just always sounded so cheesy, and always in Battlefield, always their games, they just always miss the mark on the dialogue, and it's a shame, because you do feel very immersed with the Battlefield sounds going on, the guns going off, the jets, the helicopters flying over. And then you get this stupid, cheesy dialogue, and it's like, oh, God. It just takes me out. Like, that's one of my bigger gripes with all Battlefield games. And it's just like, God damn, man. It just makes it kind of cheesy in the end. Yeah, but those are the games that I, just played recently, or the betas at least. I still plan on getting both those games. But I do got to say, man, Halo and Battlefield have pulled away from Vanguard, and I know I've been praising Vanguard. I know that, and I'm not going to back down. I'm still going to buy it, I think, but I am going to buy it. But I can tell that those other games are going to be played a lot more than Call of Duty Vanguard. Even just by the beta. I know it's just a beta. I know it's not the real game yet, the full game yet. I just feel like those games have, one, we haven't had a Halo in like 6 years. 2, we haven't had a Battlefield in like 3 years. And I think this is the reason we get a Call of Duty every year. And even though I've said that this is a great Call of Duty game, Vanguard feels good. It plays good. It is fun. It's one of my favorite periods to make a video game. It just is. But I'm going to tell you this. Those Halo and Battlefield are just, they just might be better. And they're just going to attract more people to play them. And I can't lie to you about that. That I feel like that's what's going to happen. No shame to Vanguard. No shame to anybody else that might think that Vanguard is their game. If it is, it is. But I just see I see a lot of people getting into both Halo and Battlefield 2042. They're very good for their betas. Like I said, Battlefield needs more work. It really does. More than Halo, I would say. But I mean, the Halo developers probably think the same way, that they need more work too. So we can only just wait till they come out, and we'll see what happens. I enjoy them all three, but I can definitely tell that Battlefield and I'm probably going to play a lot more of Halo and Battlefield 2042 when they come out. Just saying. Now to get to the news. I haven't done news in a while, but I had to do this because I was so puzzled of why this happened. And if you don't know, you probably do know. If you have social media, and if you've been on it, or if you've been alive for the past couple days, you had to have known that Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and other, company or social media platforms were down this week, and they were down for a while. Like, I believe I'm not sure when it went down, but it was gone for like a couple hours. I was like, what is happening? Did Dennis Nedry, they're pulling a Jurassic Park. Did Dennis Nedry come back from the dead to sabotage Zuck and Facebook? Like, what happened? Like, I don't really use Facebook at all. I should probably delete it. But I do use Instagram, and I was like, what's happening here? Why isn't anything loading? What's going on here? And Twitter was fine, which was good, which was a good thing because, I don't know what would cause that to go down. It's fun to speculate, I think. I just made the Jurassic Park connection, but it could have been anybody who wanted to take it down. But it is like, they're not going to say what happened. Like, I doubt that anybody is going to say, well, this is what happened. We got hacked and things got let loose and now we don't know where to find. Like, that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But it is fun to joke about it now because, I should have tweeted this, man. I should have tweeted, like, I was thinking, like, after it went down, I thought of Jurassic Park in my head. I was like, shit, man. I should have posted, like, a picture of Newman, like, who was really behind the Facebook outage or the Facebook shutdown or whatever. I was just like, damn it, man, that would have been perfect. But I didn't do it, and I blame myself for that. It really was a funny opportunity, and it really was funny because everybody was talking about it on social media. It was like the biggest trend that day, and I was just like, oh, cool. Like, I want to use Instagram, but, like, I can't. Oh, well. But it always, like, you get people, like, thinking, like, oh, they got hacked by somebody. Who could it have been? It was Russia. It was China. I don't think so. It could have been somebody from the inside. Somebody probably did not get their raise and said, I'm going to cut the power, or I'm going to shut this all down, just like in Jurassic Park. That would be more fun, and I like to think of that if that's how that happened. Just to, just to laugh, because maybe I should be more concerned about that. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's just like, I'm going to have fun with it. And I will never forgive myself for not tweeting that joke about Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. I will never forgive myself ever because I missed a great opportunity. That would have been a great tweet. It would have probably got some tweets or likes and retweets. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. It felt funny to me. When I said it after I was already late, I was like, damn it, man. God damn. Pissed me off. But the thing is, what's good is I didn't tweet it after it happened. After it came back on, I didn't tweet it because if I had tweeted that after it came back on, I would have been laughed at. And I would have felt like, oh, I'm so late on this. Why did I even do this? This is just dumb. I feel like an idiot. And that's, I already do, like, my entire life, so I don't want to feel more of an idiot. But, we live and we learn, I guess. We move on. I gotta be more quicker on the draw. Sorry, not draw. Gotta be more quicker on the draw in these things. Yeah. You guys hear about Urban Meyer? I guess we can get back into the NFL right here. I don't know. Why am I laughing? I should not be laughing at this. A man could lose his job. Calm down, Alex. Relax. Stop being so evil. But I love chaos. I love chaos. Listen. If you've been listening to this program since the beginning of the season, even before that, you probably heard that I've been talking about Urban Meyer every week. Pretty much. He lives rent-free in my head. Now, I always thought that he was going to be a bad coach. I really, really did. If you think about it, what college coaches nowadays do well in the NFL? None, really. Bill O'Brien, out of the league. Chip Kelly out of the league. Nick Saban was in the NFL, out of the league. Went back to college. Or went to college, sorry. But he also didn't come and then go back. So that's kind of, not true. That was just idiocy. And Urban Meyer, soon to be out of the league. Maybe not for reasons that he should be. Or maybe not for the reasons that you think. But this is where we get into the news and what's been happening with this man. This man, and I didn't believe this at first. There was a video circulating of a man that looked like Urban Meyer. It was a side profile. I couldn't really tell. Who was in a bar, and he's getting handsy with this woman, and she's back in her caboose into his jewels, in that motion. And I'm like, this is fake. This is bullshit. I don't believe this one bit. It's a side. You can't really see his face. You can kind of see the profile. And it's like, that could be Urban Meyer. That could be him, but I doubt it. I straight up did not believe it. I was like, this is bullshit. This is just a joke. Just to be funny and like, oh, Urban Meyer was at a bar getting touched and shit, or touching people and shit. And then the press conference breaks out, and he admits that he was there, that it was him, and it was at his bar in Columbus, Ohio. Because if you didn't know, the previous week, they lost to the Bengals in Cincinnati. A short drive in Ohio is Columbus, Ohio, where he used to coach Ohio State, where he is technically a king, and he has his own bar. I think it's called Urban Meyer's Bar, I think. Something like that in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know the exact name. Sorry, I didn't get that into the nitty-gritty of the research, but I was just like, he's saying something like he actually did something bad. And it's like I made a bad decision. I should have been on the plane with the team and stuff like that. And it's like, because he got another loss against the Bengals. They're 0-4. And he's like, I got to go clear my head. I'm going to go out to dinner with my family, see my grandkids. And then you see him having fun, real fun. And then there's another video. There's another video that you did not see from the back view. I mean, I don't mean to get graphic on this program here, but I believe Urban Meyer was grabbing her box from behind. And I believe Urban Meyer is also married. So not only is in deep shit with the Jaguars, but he's also got to be in deep shit with his fucking wife. Now, I don't want to get personal about it. I don't want to bash him calling him a bad husband and all. He's an NFL head coach. Maybe not for long, but for right now he is. And I don't want to get into his personal endeavors about his relationship with his wife or whatever. If she's even, talked to him since then. If he's apologized, I'm sure he has. If he's even been allowed at his house, or what has been happening. But all I know is the dude fucked up. He fucked up big time. And this might be it. The Jaguars have released a statement saying that they need to regain his trust and respect. And not just from the front office, but from the team members, too. You gotta remember, he's no longer coaching kids. He's got no power, as he did back in Ohio State or in Florida. He's got no control of the locker room. He doesn't control their scholarships or their schedules. These are all grown men now. I mean, like, they're going to say their piece about you. They're going to laugh at you. And you can't do nothing about it. You really can't. You can bench them, sure. But they still got to get their money. You can't just fire them or cut them. You can't. I mean, Shad Khan's not going to allow that at all. Sean Khan's going to be like, no fucking way. You come to me first. And this guy's in some hot water, man. On both fronts, family and job. This is insane. But it also kind of points to the fact of... It points to the signs and points to maybe just the bad luck with college coaches coming to the NFL. Some people fall out with their performance of their job. in some cases, you can say then their performance in their marriage, well, not their marriage, but their social life, because I'm sure he's got kids and grandkids that have seen this. They had to have seen it. That are going to be like, what the fuck, Dad? Or what the fuck, Grandpa? You're grabbing some chick's box? Who is she? I don't know. I sound like I'm happy about it. I'm really not. But if it's going to be able to get this fraud out of the league, out of the NFL, then we all win, I guess. I mean, listen, he never was going to be a good fit in the NFL. He never was. And it's a shame that it came this early, but it's also got to be there's got to be a playbook, an Urban Meyer playbook on how to get out of the NFL as a head coach who has already signed a contract for multiple years. This has got to be the playbook if you hate your job. Maybe he always kind of did hate his job there. Maybe he did. Maybe he deep down wanted the USC job. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But we can't argue. I mean, if he does get fired, this comes out, when you wake up, you listen to this, or whenever you listen to this, if he gets fired, or what happens. I've been hearing a lot of things. Him getting laughed at by the players, the front office, the executives. I've been hearing a lot of things that seem to be leading to him being fired. I don't want to say it, confidently yet, but it doesn't look good. In fact, it looks really bad. I mean, that's also part of why you've got to finish the story. You can't just be like he's going to be fired soon, because he's going to do a bad job at coaching. That could be one factor. But it's also, now you get things like this. Oh, it just gets, it's chaos. I love chaos. That being said, and he also kind of threw Trevor Lawrence under the bus a little bit too, because he went to a bachelor party and kind of talked about that. It's like, what the fuck you doing, coach? Like, that's got to be private. Like, just because you got caught grabbing box from what it could have been a college student, I don't know. I have no idea. Who is this lady? I don't even know. I didn't really see her face in the videos. But that you can't make this up. You can't write this. This is insane. And I know that I think a lot of people in the NFL, coaches, players, owners, everybody kind of wants this guy out of the league. This might have been like the icing on the cake, the last straw, even though there's not really been a lot of straws you can grasp at. This one seems to be the nail in the coffin. I'll be surprised if he lasts this year. If he lasts this year, I'll be surprised. But I also wouldn't be, because they did sign him to such a long deal. They would have to eat that money. The Jaguars don't got that kind of money to eat. They're not a big franchise. They're not a big organization. They're not. They can't afford to eat that money. They got no players. They got the number one pick. They signed a coach that also signed Tim Tebow. I mean, what did you expect? The Tim Tebow thing, the strength coach, I think, was also a pretty controversial signing. I don't really know exactly what happened there. I think it had to be something about like a racial background or something like that. Him being a racist, I'm not sure though. I didn't really look into it. Again, Tim Tebow and now this. I mean, this is just a recipe for disaster, I think. There's no way that any of his teammates are going to trust him now. I mean, again, this is the fact that it actually could affect his marriage too. And his players seeing that, knowing that he's married, grandpa and all that, father, it's crazy. I don't know. Enough of that, though. Enough of Urban Meyer. He's been the talk of many people. The talk of so many different people. Let's move on to week 4, shall we? I won't get to too many games because I feel like we don't need to talk about a lot of the games. Because this was kind of a safe week. People who needed to play well played well. I mean, the Bills needed to beat the Texans. They beat them 40-0. The Texans are absolute garbage. They have been since they lost to Rod Taylor. Davis Mills is not the guy. He just isn't. And if you want him to be the guy, what did you even see in him? I don't know. Not sure. The Bears beat the Lions 24-14. Justin Fields looked a lot better. Which is, what every Bears fan wants. He looked comfortable. They adapted to him. They played for him. They won for him. They won. The Cowboys beat the Panthers 36-28. The Panthers looked better. The Cowboys also look really good. Again, I will say this again. They should, and we should pencil them in right now to win the NFC East. They're the best team in that division, and they should be the winner. The Colts beat the Dolphins 27-17. Okay, yeah, Jacoby Brissett's the starting quarterback, and he's just... he could be better than Tua Tagovailoa, but he's also not the best. Colts get their first win of the season. They're now 1-3. I still don't think that they're all that good. They might not make that big of a... I mean, the Titans aren't good. The Texans aren't that very good either. And who knows? They could be on a run. They could. Browns beat the Vikings 14-7. They luck out, get a win. They looked very decent. The Browns did. They looked like they actually should. They could have won that game by more points, but things didn't go their way. Vikings slipped up. They could have gone. It could have been 2-2. Now they're in that 1-3 hole, but it's okay because the Bears aren't that good. The Vikings, the Packers are, still really good, but the Lions, you got the Lions. You should beat them both times in your division, so that you should be looking forward to that. The Giants beat the Saints. The Giants, I'm still not buying. The Giants beat the Saints 27-21. I don't buy Daniel Jones at all. At all. He had one good game, right? He's had such a shaky past as a quarterback for the New York Giants that I'm not going to buy into it. I'm not going to. String together a couple wins, maybe 3 wins in a row, and then maybe we'll talk after that. But I just right now, I cannot buy. I don't buy them at all. The Jets beat the Titans. That's embarrassing. The 27-24. That's embarrassing. The Jets had no business winning this game. They really didn't. The Titans are way better. You have Derrick Henry. Run the damn ball. The Jets are the Jets. You should have beaten them. Do I sound like I'm annoyed? I'm not. It's just these guys should not be winning games. They really shouldn't. Zach Wilson's just... nothing to say. Let's see. Chiefs beat the Eagles 42-30. I'm surprised that they actually scored that many points, the Eagles, against the Chiefs. The Chiefs must really have a bad defense because 30 points is a lot of points to allow the Jalen Hurts to score on you. He had a pretty good game. Went 32 for 48 with 387 yards and 2 touchdowns, but I still don't think that they're that good. They're okay. They're not the best. They won't beat the Cowboys again, or this year. The Cardinals beat the Rams, 37-20. Listen, the Cardinals are really good. They're really, really good. They're for real. They're a threat. They should be. They should be feared. They don't fuck around. Kyler Murray is legit. He's playing out of his mind. Matt Stafford played okay, but not the best. They got beat at home. But it's going to be a good loss because if you lose to these guys and you know who they are, and if you meet down the road again, you'll be more prepared. You'll know that they're real, that you got to take them seriously, and you just got to be better. You got to work to get better to beat them because they are the best team I think in the league. Take their hats off to them. Seattle Seahawks beat the Niners 28-21. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. Trey Lance came in. And another win for the Seattle Seahawks. They're back on track after a shaky start of being 1-2. The Ravens beat the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. Got a concussion, actually. They looked pretty bad after that, so congratulations to the Ravens. They beat them 23-7. Steelers lost to the Packers 17-27. The Steelers are dead. Aaron Rodgers is still one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Big Ben is not good. It's painful. He's going to be retiring after this year, I believe, and it's not going to be a good year unless they can miraculously turn it around and get that win or keep winning. Then they're going to be better. The Raiders lost to the Chargers 28-14. The Raiders have come back down. They were on their 3-0 high. They were playing good, but then they did what they did best. They didn't come back and win the game. They were down 14-0 at the half, and they just couldn't come back and win. I mean, 21, sorry. 21-0 at the half, and they just couldn't dig themselves out of it. It's a lot to do. That's a lot to come back from. And I know they did that in the past, but they got Justin Herbert on there. They got Austin Eckler. And what's his name? The receiver. I'm forgetting his name. God damn. Keenan Allen. That's who. Keenan Allen. They're very talented. They're very good. They might be one of the better teams in the AFC behind the Bills and the Ravens. But, yeah, the Raiders came back to earth. They might just be... They could possibly go 9-8, 8-9, maybe a 10-7, maybe if they find another stride, if they actually play better. But I don't have high hopes for them. I just don't. It could be because that maybe John Gruden is not the answer. Maybe he's just not it. I don't know. I mean, it's been 4 years with John Gruden? 5? No playoffs, no really meaningful seasons, no really good stats, nothing, no really good players that have stood out, besides Carr, Waller, Renfro. And that's about it. They look shaky on defense still. Make boneheaded penalties. I mean, what could you ask for? This might have been a bad hire. I don't know. And he's got 5 more years on his contract. To them, I'll give you a message. Maybe go younger. Get a young offensive coordinator that has potential, that knows the game of football of today. Not John Gruden. I'm sorry, but the game might just be too. It might be past him already. It just might be past him. Final game of the day, or Sunday night game, actually. The return game, Buccaneers, Patriots. It wasn't a good game. It is actually a really, really boring game. A lot of drop passes. It was raining in Foxborough, which, caused a lot of the drop balls and a lot of the incompletions, which would halt the game and cause it to stop. And very annoying, actually. Really, really annoying. So, I mean, the Buccaneers did their job. They won the game 19-17 on a last-minute field goal miss by the Patriots, and Tom Brady beats Bill Belichick. And again, they had a horrible, horrible, horrible hug at the end of the game. It was very quick. You can tell that Tom Brady was like, "What the fuck? That was it? That's all we're gonna hug?" Just a second, and that's it. Then he hugged everybody else on his team: the McCourty, Van Noy, Mac Jones, all of his defensive players and offensive players. Josh McDaniels was there hugging him, embracing him. It was nice to see. I was waiting for that just to see what would happen because it was a dreadful, dreadful game. Unless you're a Buccaneers fan, you're like, okay, hell yeah, we won. We beat the Patriots. But yeah, it was a bad game. It was an annoying game, boring. And the first half ended 6-7. I mean, what could you ask for? It was raining all night, and you're just like, let's just get this over with so I can see the end handshake. That's all I want to see, really, because it was that bad. It was most likely because of the weather, which is, out of our control. But yeah, it was the hype for the return was huge, but the actual return, the game for the return, bad. Sorry, it was a bad game. That's it though. That's gonna be it for me today for this week. Thank you again for listening, and thank you for watching. Remember, you can find the podcast on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rate and review. Leave a comment. Leave a suggestion, rating. What can I do better? What do you guys want to see? What could be something fun that I could do? A fun topic, an article, headline, whatever that you want to send me that I can read and research. Let's get interesting, man. Let's get interesting. Let's have some, but also continue to have fun. I still want to make sports the main part of the show because I enjoy talking about them. I enjoy venting about sports and talking about them. Like I said, baseball season, postseason is here. Going to be talking about that. Saw a couple movies. Going to be seeing a couple more in the future. You can get ready for more reviews. Really looking forward to seeing No Time to Die. And then Dune coming out. Really excited to see Dune because people are saying it's... actually, I won't say what they're saying. We'll wait after I see it and after I review it because that's going to be fun. Again, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.